Well, hey everyone, welcome to the Tokyo University of the Arts Graduate School of Film and New Media's GEIDAI Games Program Showcase, starring me, Sean, aka Day 9, with my usual name tag in the top right corner. I want to talk first a little bit about what this showcase is, and if you've been tuned in for more than 10 minutes, I'm about to repeat what I just got done saying. Which is that in many types of art programs, whether it be painting or film school, you often, instead of having like assignments every week, like I have a math degree in undergrad, and you do homework every week, homework every week, and this is the sort of stepping process to graduating. In a lot of art programs, you will make a game or a work that takes 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, even 2 years in some programs. And a big part of a lot of these programs is showcasing these games at the end of the year or of the semester. So for instance, I went to a game program for graduate school at USC. And at the end of my third year, we had an exhibition where it was kind of like a gallery setup, but instead of paintings, it was computers or interactive tablets or VR sections where students and faculty and people could just join in, come check it out. And it was open for like 2 weeks. I loved it. It was so meaningful to me to be able to be part of that. And one of the real tragedies of COVID is that we can't really meet in person for this sort of thing. So the GEIDAI Games Program started to do this online exhibition style, because as a student, it's really great to work hard on something and to get to see it sent out into the world. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be playing through some of these student games. And of course, let me say a warm welcome to all of you that are here on the West Coast in America. Hello, good evening. Hope your Friday night's going well. To all of you beautiful human beings out in Japan right now, welcome and good morning. Happy Saturday. I hope your Friday night went well. And let's sort of hop straight into all this stuff. So first of all, this website that you can see here, and we'll go ahead and be pasting this into the chat. If you want to go here, this is just going to be up for you to check everything out. This is kind of the heart of the showcase. And I'm sure that if I hit play, I would see my face. But I already see my face here, and if I see two of me, that'll be too emotionally devastating for me to handle. But this is where the stream is going to be located. And for instance, if you click on this Games tab, you will see the games that we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be starting with Wandala and then to Small Life, It's a Wonderful New Day. If you click on any of these detail pages here, you will be able to not just get more information about the development process of it, see the trailer, you can also play the game. All of the links that I'm actually going to be opening to load these games up, they're here. Check the games out. In fact, if you could just flood this server and bring the website down because there's too many people showing up, that would be amazing. It's so wonderful to give students the credit that they deserve. Making a thesis project is really, 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 really hard. In addition to the games that we're going to showcase, we're going to be showcasing once again these 6... Oops, I'm on the wrong page. Yeah, we're going to be showcasing these 6 games today. These 6 interactive pieces today. There's also, you'll see a GEIDAI Cross USC tab. This is some of the projects that GEIDAI, which is the Tokyo University of the Arts, their collaboration with the USC Games Program. Now again, I want to stress, I went to the USC Games Program, baby. So this is actually my original exposure to the Tokyo University of the Arts. And the fact that they started up a games program very recently has me very excited, and I was really, really heart-warmed and touched that they extended the invitation to showcase some student games, which we did in September for their first exhibition. Now we're doing again here in March. Sorry, it's hard to remember what month it is anymore. So again, I invite all of you to come check this out. Before we hop into the projects, I want to note, if any of you have any questions about what's it like to go through a program, what it's like to go through a games graduate program, what it's like to work on a project of these scales, what it's like to do game development. Anyways, that's one of our favorite topics to talk about here on the channel. And you want to hear something real funny? My thesis project in my graduate program was Day 9 TV, which at the time was considered really, like, streaming was not a thing when I started that thesis. So this is one of the things that I really love so much about showcasing a lot of student works, is that when you're working on a project, you can be as experimental and creative and innovative as you want. Often when you're in the real world, trying to, I shouldn't say the real world, I mean, it's more like if you're trying to release a game, say on Steam or a platform or something like this, like a commercial a commercial game, there can often be a lot of pressures to not innovate, to not explore, to not push as much. And so whenever I check out student projects, I'm always just so inspired, you know? I'm like, oh, I've never even thought of something like that. And I'm really excited to showcase this first piece that we're going to open up in a brief moment. But first, I want to give a warm thanks to the advisor to all of these students, Takashi Tokita, who has been part of Square Enix for a long time and was the director on one of my favorite games of all time, Chrono Trigger, which is just a masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. And one of the things that's really lovely about participating in a university program that has really great connections like that is you can get really intelligent, thoughtful, insightful people from the industry to come help your project. And for me personally, that was like a really wonderful boon. So what I'm doing is I'm opening up our very first project. We're going to be playing through them over the course of the next about 40 minutes. We're going to be giving our thoughts and our reactions. The first game that we're going to be checking out... Oh, and I should clarify, not all of these are games. Many of them are interactive pieces, are interactive animations. This first one is a VR 360 interactive animation. We're going to check it out in a sec. It's by Akimi Miyamoto. And by the way, I apologize for any poor pronunciations of any names. I just want to make sure that we properly credit the students because I personally know just how unbelievably difficult it is to make a thesis project. So, Akimi Miyamoto made Wandala to say, "Welcome to Wandala, a wondrous and warm mandala world where both death and rebirth are celebrated when the soul leaves the body." So, I'm going to load this up. Now, this is footage from if you put on a VR headset and got to watch this animation. Now, I don't know if you have ever... and also, Ghosty, how's the audio levels? I want to make sure you can hear me. If you've never been in one of these interactive animations, it's 360. So you're seeing the footage of someone looking around. You're seeing the hands of the avatar move in coordination with the player. And these types of pieces, I'll even pause right now. You're seeing that you can like look and see particular details, and one of the joys of any of these 360 video animations is doing it again and again and again and again. I rewatched in the first exhibition we did. I rewatched Baby in the Cradle like 7 times in a row. Alright, it appears that I have crashed the video by pausing. Oh, thank goodness, there we go. Put your palms together, namaste. If you've never used VR, you have these devices that you can hold that tracks what your fingers are doing. Namu Amidu Butsu. Oh, welcome back. It seems I dozed off again. Do you remember me? It's me, Buddha. Also known as Sid... And it's gone. Have you forgotten you are in Wandala? I'll read faster next time. Which means you have died. Sorry, everyone. My apologies. How did you like life? And how's death looking? Very casual. Yes, there was a time when I repeated life and death too. Yawn. Oh, sorry. It's time. We shall speak again. You go have fun. Get ready. Hey! Isn't this fantastic? Look at this! And again, this will be in VR. What we're watching is video footage of someone in VR looking around at all these elements. And I mean, there's something that is just so powerful about being able to physically look around. Because when I first heard interactive animation, I assumed it would be some sort of motion that I do physically changes things. But with this kind of animation, the ability to look around and see everything, and I mean, you'll note there is action happening, again, 360 all over the place. I mean, this is just a treat. Oh. Inspired and Wired says, why isn't real life like this? I know, right? Someone needs to do something about that. Like, when I get off work today, this is how I would prefer things be. And then we're going to see some credits pop up. Oh, that's right. I have a new birthday for you. Because again, I have a new birthday for you. It is time for our rebirth. And congratulations, you've been reborn as a credit sequence. Ah! Okay, I'm teasing. $1. And we're going to go ahead and put a pause to this. Actually, let's just put this on. And we'll just give our reactions as the video is continuing to play out. You know, when even like 15 years ago, when you would talk about interactive film or interactive animation, there's things kind of like Bandersnatch where you're watching something linear, it stops. A or B. Oh, I guess I'll do thing A. It plays again. It stops. Okay, C or D. This kind of stop and go can kind of pull you out of the interactive film sometimes. And when I think interactive film or interactive animation, these are the types of things that historically have existed. But at the last showcase and at this one, there's been several of these 360-degree animations. And what I find really compelling about it is that there's too much information. Like, I'm looking here, but there's information happening off my vision over here. There's information happening off the vision over here. Thank you. You too. I hope you have a great life too. There's all this information that's just flooding from all angles that makes the experience of going through it the first time different from someone else's experience of going through it the first time. And you can re-go through it again and again and again. And that feels so unique compared to watching a movie. If you and I both watched Harry Potter, it's hard to say that we both had a different viewing experience if we were in the same theater watching the same thing. But here, again, that interactive element of just being able to look around is way more powerful than I ever would have thought. And so this is an area that I'm really eager to continue to explore that is inspired strictly from the GEIDAI Games programs, is these 360 animations in VR that you can just look at wherever you wish to look. And I gotta say, I think that the choice of color and the action and the sound all united together just marvelously. And I am going to be giving grades for all of the student projects. A+. A+. Graduated with honors. I don't believe I have any authority to do that, but for us, to you, here at Day 9 TV, A+. Thank you so much for giving us $1. Let's head to the next game. It's Small Life. I'm going to be opening it up over here, and it actually runs in browser. So if any of you are interested in checking it out, you can see, as I head back over to the page, let me hit play. Let me load it up. Let me unmute it. Let me full screen it. Please full screen. Please full screen. There we go. This is just running in a web browser for any of you who are curious. This next project is called Small Life. It's by Yuichi Wu, who writes that Small Life is an interactive city discovery game inspired by Shenzhen, China. Shenzhen is the city that's just barely north of Hong Kong, that's located in the south of China, and it's considered the Silicon Valley of China. I visited Shenzhen, and it's lovely. Writes, an interactive city discovery game inspired by Shenzhen, China. Explore this one-of-a-kind city and unravel the playful puzzles that will require a few twists of imagination. So, Act 1, Longhua Park located in Shenzhen's Sanhe, became known through a documentary program on NHK. Let's make sure we have English selected. Perfect. This is designed to be able to be played in browser or to be able to be touch played. So how to play. Each item can be obtained in 2 steps. Touch the characters and items and find out what happens. How to play, and it just tells you to click. So I've actually played through a little bit of this, but the first thing I thought when I opened up this piece is that Small Life is like a modern Where's Waldo. Just that feeling of, because I'm not a player, I'm just able to kind of go around and look and observe and not disturb anybody. And I find this just so peaceful and so lovely. And I think that the art style is also a really good, efficient choice. Each of these projects is made by very small teams. Some 2, 3, some 5, 6, 7, but like no 20, 30, 40 person teams by any stretch of the imagination. And I find that to be a really compelling challenge when you're working on a small-scale project. How do you make the art compelling without making it too burdensome? And I just think that this sort of hand-drawn style is really lovely. And really simple things, you know, like the breeze in the cactus feels really nice. So, okay, this is where I task you with helping me a little bit. Let me show you how things work here a little bit. You can start clicking various objects. Oh, and look at this. And this is where color appears. Oh, some birds are here. And then, if I click the woman, does she do anything? No. What if I click this man? Oh. You just start tapping and clicking and exploring. Oh, look. Here's a little squirrel. The squirrel's interested. And these 2 men help make the squirrel a home. And that's what the game means by there's 2 steps, right? We click once to notify the squirrel to bring it to the 2 gentlemen's attention, and then we click the sticks to create this. And now the squirrel has a home. And this is obviously not a, tough, difficult logic puzzle. It's like an interactive Where's Waldo piece. It's really nice. And by the way, Ghost Stalker just mentioned to us, whoops, I needed to Alt-Tab. I realize, and thank you so much for the reminder, that I still have listed that we are under Magic the Gathering. So let's go ahead and go games and demos. Perfect. Let's just update the category on Twitch so people can find this a little bit easier. So let's now remaximize our game. And let's try to get a Cactus Bonsai. And as you start to click around, there's various little interactables. The Big Love says, I love this. This is like a digital version of those Simple Book magazine games. Yeah, right? It's just enhanced. Oh. I imagine that if you poke my tummy, that's exactly the noise I make. And oh, look at this. Oh. Appears to have picked up some of these little cactus plants. And lo and behold, because I've played this game before, I know how level 1 works. And there it is. They've been planted. Cactus Bonsai. Now let's get the painting of the bird. How do we get... Ah, there it is. We helped bring attention to our little birdies. And we've done it. Isn't that lovely? Brosnan says, this is like the opposite of Untitled Goose Game, right? You just get to experience interesting art and interesting whimsical little connections. Act 2 by Shiju. Again, apologies for my poor pronunciation at times. They said the young people who have relocated to Shenzhen have lived here at one time or another. Same instructions as before. And again, you can scroll back and there's just details everywhere. There's clothes hanging and drying outside. There's air conditioning units. There's people talking. Little animated elements. A dude on his phone. That's you right now. Watching this. Oh yeah, Day 9's interesting, but I'm going to keep surfing Twitter. Put that phone down and appreciate this artistry. So, oh, a fish is out here. Oh, does he notice yet? Oh, speedy hand. There it is. Daedra Former says, I really enjoy the use of color to indicate progress or importance. Oh, it's just lovely. I love this one. Okay, so see this woman folding up here? She throws little paper planes. Okay. But this is paper plane on cat. How do we get that? How do we get that? Oh, and by the way, there's lots of other little interactables that are not necessarily part of the core problem solving, just to make it a little bit more rich and a little bit more alive. Oh, and what about this? I'm going to give the gentleman some tasty treats. Perhaps. Would you like this melon? Excellent. And then he drives away. Hey, Melon Museum. Again, real efficiency of the art style. Can we click on the cat to move it? Let's give it a try. No, it doesn't look like we can do that. We can also... Oh, we can click on this, though, and the pinwheel falls down. And then we can throw another one. Oh, and it hits the cat. There we go. Obviously, before I started this broadcast, I would play through the games just to make sure that they didn't crash or there were no bugs, and to make sure I understood the instructions properly for the gameplay and whatnot. And this one, I just spent like 30 minutes just looking at every little inch. I just think this is wonderful. Now, I'm not going to complete the rest of this. I leave that as an exercise to you, the viewer, but Ghost Stalker is posting links to all of these pieces. The romance novel one is a good one. The romance novel one is cute. Just being able to scroll. You know, let's water this. That does seem nice. That does seem nice. I'm kind of going a little fast. When I first played, it took me a little longer. So don't be stressed if it takes you a minute. But let's see if I can get this mirror thing to work. Ah, yes. So, where is it? There's a way to make something fall over here that made little mice appear. Ah, this was it. I move this, and a little mouse appears. So it says mirror reflection. What do you think's going to happen, huh? Bzzz. Surprise! Annihilated by the sun! Yeah, no, that one took me by surprise, too. And there's another level beyond this one. But, again, A+. I find this to be incredibly pleasing. And you know, this game does something that, as a student, and even still as an adult, I'm terrible at, which is I know how to do programming and design and that sort of thing, but I've never done a lot of... I'm actually pretty terrible at art. I am the ultimate maker of engineering art, right? And I truly think that if you add enough polish and detail and delight and polish and polish and more detail and a little polish and a really nice art, you actually hit something transcendent, which just makes things so joyful. I mean, just being able to do this is not a gameplay mechanic that gives you more options. It's not about the branching possibilities. It's about the real delight of the space. A+, graduate with honors. Incredible work, Mr. Wu. Let's go to our next game. Okay, I have a strong suspicion that this will make people laugh. Let's open it up. It's called It's a Wonderful New Day. Let's scroll back. This one is a downloadable. Many of these games work on Windows and Mac, and I also suspect that it doesn't work on Linux, which is par for the course for you Linux folks. You know what I'm saying? It never works on Linux. That's just a joke. That's just a joke. But yeah, they work on Windows and Mac, so I downloaded the Windows thing. I've just opened up It's a Wonderful Life, and I want to read a blurb. Actually, you know what? You don't get to see the game yet. You don't get to see the game yet. I don't want it to accidentally launch the game. I want to give proper credit. This is from Youyang Lee, who writes the following. The frog wakes up from his sleep. It's a beautiful new day. Let's work hard and keep the bees in line. What does it mean? What does it mean? What could that be? Made with Unity. Huge shout out to Unity. Adore using Unity as an engine. It's free to download in case any of you want to try it out. But from Youyang Lee. Look at the little guy. Oh my gosh. Look at this adorable art style. Oh, he's looking in the mirror. Have you ever looked in a mirror? Terrifying, right? Ah! This is what I feel like whenever I walk by a mirror when I am in quarantine. Oh my gosh, what's happened? There's so much hair on his face. What a terrible nightmare. I'm so glad it was only a dream. I will be playing the voice actor of the frog. Anyways, time to go to work and catch lazy bees again. Why aren't you working? That's a lazy bee. Bee has no excuse. The bee stopped working. A slacker! Oh, what happens if I press E? Oh, I'm typing in chat. Let me go back here. E. Oh, you just eat them. Hey, I will never be lazy like those bees. Because hard work always pays off. All right, so I have 60 seconds to find all lazy bees. Keep jamming, bees. Where are you at? Nom nom nom. Oh, there's a lazy one. Oh, delicious. Oh my god, I love when bees get lazy, especially when I'm in the mood for a snack. All right. Oh, delicious. Oh, is it discordant to have this happy music as I'm devouring these lazy workers? No, it's a paradise. Start to finish. Oh, I found another lazy one. How many can Day 9 get? Can I get 10? All right. Oh, delicious. All right. There's another lazy one. Okay. Missed one? Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be a pro gamer, but everyone knows that StarCraft players are not good at visual multitasking. All right. Oh, I found a lazy one in the corner. Oh, delicious. Oh, all right. Oh, I found another one. Oh, it's so good. All right. Oh, yes, a pair of lazy ones. Yes, manager of the month. Oh, wait, it's different. Oh, I got a straight razor to shave off all this hair. Yeah. That's the game! That's the game! Yes! Yes, have any of you ever been to an office and had a cannibal as a manager? What a wonderful day! You know, a big trap that... Let me talk to you about the biggest trap that I fell into when I first got to my, my program at USC, my games program. And we're going to talk about this problem while this, the happiest frog of all time, look, he's crying a tear of joy because he was able to eat bees and shave. When I first got to USC Games Program, I remember thinking, well, I play StarCraft, which is a super hardcore RTS game, and I only care about the systems. I am in it for the complexity of the strategy, the interesting decisions that can go on, the possibilities that can emerge from this. And what I did is I discredited the importance of a lot of those basic joyful things. Now that I'm much older and I've sort of had more sense placed into my mind, in large thanks to Tracy Fullerton at USC, one of the greatest professors to ever grace the earth, it's really... There's a lot of really great designs and joyful elements in a game, like Dragoons, their walk animation, how they explode into blue goo in StarCraft. These types of, again, bits of polish and bits of resonance and bits of joy are so important. And I made many games at USC, small projects, that just lacked a sense of cheer and a sense of identity, and a lot of these just really core, fun elements. And that's what I love about It's a Wonderful Day. I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to devour a little bit more. I mean, look at these bees. Like, all the bees are on Apple computers. Just the silliness of the sound effects and the cheer. Come here. Delicious. Ghost in Shell says, I really hope this game has the main character slowly realize how horrible this all is. What's horrible? We don't want the bees to be lazy. These silly bees. That slurp sound. You know that there were some students somewhere that were like, all right, hold on, guys. We're recording some sounds. We're recording some sounds. Everyone be quiet. Everyone be quiet. Okay, are you ready? And they did that, and they recorded that sound, and that's what we're listening to today. Now, I'm deliberately not collecting as many bees right now. It's not because I'm bad. It's not because I'm bad, because I'm obviously a pro gamer at this. It's because of a little Easter egg. Okay, one. What did I get? I didn't even get the straight razor. I got hair removal cream, which hurts. It wasn't very effective. But I'm still delighted about it. In other words, depending upon how many bees you successfully devour while lazy, the better hair removal product you get. Anima says this is absolutely surreal. Yes. The game brings me incredible joy. A plus out of 10. And I felt that this particular piece, It's a Wonderful Day, was a really great example of how you can take something that is pretty straightforward. WASD movement, an E button to eat, and then just focus so much on making the animations satisfying and fun, and adding in like the cute little cutscene at the start that makes me care about this frog. Like it's great. Yeah, and there's alternate endings. Like, I don't know. It captures, I think, something that is so easily overlooked, which is just sheer delightful joy. Now, the next game that we're going to be playing, we're actually going to take a brief interlude. We've looked at 3 of the projects. I want to remind all of you that you can go to... wait, that's not the... There we go. There's the right page. Perfect. You can go to this URL here. Copy. I'm going to paste this in chat. Bang. You can go here, go to this games page, and scroll down, and It's a Wonderful Day. You can play it right there. While we're here, if any of you have any questions at all about the GEIDAI Games Program, about my time at the USC Interactive Media Program, which is the USC Games Program, or about any of the projects you've seen, I'd be delighted to take any questions for the next 90 seconds or so. And if you have questions related to that, then don't say anything, please. I'll open that up and warmly answer any of these types of things. Is there no question? That's great. Look at this. Everything has been perfectly clear. Look at that. Oh, Ed Bighead, this is perfect. Says, what was your favorite class at USC? What was my favorite kind of coursework? Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, I'm sorry. There was a chat delay, so now y'all flying in with questions. We're going to take 2 questions. Ed Big Head says, what was your favorite class? You know, I think that rather than point to a specific class, but the classes that I wound up enjoying the most were the ones that were outside of what my usual interest set was. So I remember there was a class from a professor named Perry Hoberman who it was a lot about interesting, interactive, physical interfaces. Now, I just consider myself more of a core game player. I like multiplayer competitive games, I like card games, I like strategy games, that sort of thing. But in this particular class, we were learning literally how to work with things like Arduino, which is like a chipset that you can program things that have physical components to them. So I built a turntable in there, and then I created a virus that you could control the growth rate of using the turntable. And it was just so far outside where my head would ever be connected that I feel like it's when you have experiences like this that your brain really gets freshened up. It's like if I just play, like let's just take card games. Let's say I wanted to be a card game designer, so I played other card games, and I studied Magic competitive play, and I studied Hearthstone competitive play, and then I try to make a card game and compare it to those. It's almost like you are working with too few ingredients. It's when you start to like look outside of the box of the usual expectation that your brain starts to wake up and you have new ideas that come in, which is fantastic. And Atris654 says, do you think it is a good plan to study computer science, then go for game design? Well, I don't think you have to. The reason that it might be beneficial to do computer science for your game is that you can then program stuff. But if we take a look, for instance, at Small Life, this is clearly incredible animation, incredible illustration. And I even know, for instance, the developers of Abzu were really talented artists, and that was sort of their forefront skill set. I think it's good if you're trying to step into game design to understand where your skill sets are and to try to leverage them as much as possible. I even know people who can neither do programming nor do art, but are astounding writers. So whenever you play their pieces, they have great little bits of dialogue and really funny instructions in prose that makes it really rich. I think the most important thing that if there is a student who is saying, I'm interested in getting into game design, what should I do? I would say start trying to make simple board games. That's where I would start, because then there's no restrictions in terms of programming or art or understanding a particular tool. It's all about the design of the game. And so for that reason, this was my education when I first got to USC. Trace Fullerton says, we're just going to do board games for the first semester. And it was great. It was great. Now, some of those questions, let's save that for the end and return back to some of these wonderful student projects. The next one is a much more somber game that we're going to be loading up from Tetsukin Kyo. It is a game called You, and the synopsis is, in this puzzle adventure game, the player acts as a father who recently lost his rebellious son. By revisiting memories with his son, the father gradually comes to terms with the boy's death. The designer researches gameplay and storytelling with a focus on player and character perspectives. And Tetsukin Kyo is one of these students who just made... this one is I actually found very, very moving. I'm just locating it in my file right here. And we're going to get this to open. Great. Oh, no wonder I was clicking the wrong thing. So here we are in the game. And this game has several chapters to it, and we're going to play through the first one and talk about the first one. Characters and events depicted in this game are fictitious. Any similarity to actual persons living or dead is purely coincidental. So in other words, I'm not anyone in here, and neither is Ghost Stalker. English. And also... Oh, scoot out, boy. So here, I have to spam the mouse button. I have to click as fast as I can. strong music for the emotions, says Ghost and Shell. Couldn't agree more. Tatsukin Kyo. And again, you can see many of these games are more than one person, but like hardly any people. Hardly any people. You. And I mean, like this, I found this very, very moving. I'm going to restart because I've played this before. Oh, it goes back all the way to the start? Oh no. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the entire game. You just loop this cutscene. I'm kidding. I made a mistake. Day 9. Well... Ghost and Shell says, my heart, I can't take it again. Okay, I hit the wrong button. Alright, forgive me. I apologize. User error. I'm the user. I've makey a mistakey. Well, while we're here, I want to remark on something that The Wind Hover says, that the high contrast black and white is such a strong choice. Hard agree. I think that it's one of these, it's an aesthetic choice where there's more of a high-intensity art style that you might see in a game like League of Legends, where there's just a lot of nuance to certain shaders, and there's a lot of colors, and there's a lot of managing of different styles. And if you're a student project, you just don't have the resources to do that. And we saw the beautiful black and white in Small Life. And here again, the hard-edged... I think I may have crashed the game by doing that. With the sort of like hard-edged black and white, this can wind up being, I think, an extremely effective art style. And I mean, it's reminiscent of... Yeah, I closed the game. It froze. And I think that's my bad. Whoopsie daisies. But you know, even a commercial game like Antichamber has this sort of very flat, cel-shaded colors, very limited use of color. Recently we played, oh gosh, what was the name of it? It was the project where everything infinitely repeats. It's not the Mandelbrot. Well, help me out. Who am I? What is the game? Oh, Obra Dinn is another game that has a very similar style. And by the way, we're just firing back up the same sequence. Manifold Garden, thank you. In case any of you wanted to see it a third time, here it is. Here it is, because twice isn't enough. That's right, third time's the charm. If any of you had little tears welling up, I want to see those globs fall down the face. I want to see them. Oh, I didn't click the button enough. User error. User error. Heavy breathing. This is the game, right? We're just going to continuously play through this. This is the game. I instruct myself to hit the continue button. Let's hit continue this time. But again, I think that this is a really efficient art style. It's that Sin City look that's hard black and white, hard cast shadows. A glow effect is applied to a lot of the white coloring that gives it a really striking aesthetic. And it's efficient. It's really, really efficient. Mittens the cat says, I'm putting my son to bed and this is not the thing to be watching. I apologize. And there it is. Perfect. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And there's a note that I actually really like. Let's go ahead and continue. Thank goodness. There's a note that Maladroit 0310 says, I was so surprised to find out about cel shading. I feel like it's so cool because 3D models are so flexible, but you can make it 2D for more stylistic, if I understand it correctly. Absolutely. And also Strophium says, as a game programmer, and I can say personally, programming camera motion to achieve tone is hard. And Yu does a lot of this. This game is quite lengthy. So again, we're only going to go through the first one, but lost his son. Looking at this old journal, February 12th, Monday. Today, all my toys were put away. I was so sad. and you enter into the room.
这是
We're in the baby room. So in this room, I can click and look at
你
objects.
觉得对这里一无所知？
There's my boy.
真的？看他的手，
Look at your little
小拳
fists.
头呢。就
I'm
这，
home.
多可爱啊！
So
那个
precious.
时候真是幸福啊！
It was such a happy time. And so clearly we are in a memory. And there's all these doors in the memory. And what happens if you go through? Huh. A link back into the same room, and you can even see your character there. And, you know, there's...
你想试试这个门能去哪儿？
What's this door for? Now, I'm going to move on to the next area, because I've played through this. I believe it is this door. I'm going in.
来玩游戏吧。
Let's play a game. What game do you want to play? You know, before I advance forward, we're going through memories, right? And Windhoven taking the words straight out of my mouth. Excuse me, Windhover says, "I love how abstract and dreamlike it feels." Yeah, little aesthetics like there's this window and you feel the car lights coming through. Again, this white has a light sort of almost glow to it to just give a little bit more of a striking feel to it. But the game is kind of about the sorrow of exploring through the memories of something. And I think that this is really clever with all these doors that keep looping through. And as you are looking around at various objects, like test results or like games, look, here's the game here. I can click on, I think I maybe have already clicked on that one. You're going through and you're looking at these various objects.
这个可花了你不少钱
That
啊！
was expensive.
你还是咬咬牙买了。
I can't believe I bought it. And if you walk through some of these doors,
长得真像你。
it really does look like you. He has your nose.
再多看几眼吧。
So it's this kind of interesting feeling of, as I'm going through this memory, it keeps kind of looping back in on itself. I keep...
来玩游戏吧。
玩什么游戏啊？
And I actually spent some time going through multiple times going... Because you're going to see some layers in a moment. But, like, as you keep looping through, you keep seeing different bits of dialogue. Little different details keep showing up. And what you start to learn is that some of these doors take you back to the same room that
这
you're
么
in.
乱，这小子玩完了都不收拾。
Like this. Some of them take you way back. And some of them advance you through to some new memory. Oh my god, it's happy birthday! DMCA is going to shut the channel down. That was it. We had a good run. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
真是个好时
What a
候啊！
beautiful moment. Come on, hurry.
来快来！
他最喜欢吃蛋糕，他那个时候很能吃，就是长身体的时候。生日快乐！
This is nice.
要先许个愿。
Now, I think if I recall correctly, so I'm not going to be looping through some of this stuff.
很香的味道。他还是个好孩子，
He was such a good boy then.
继续努力。
Okay.
这是他第一次拿
This
奖
is his，first prize,
立
like
刻
the
高兴坏
piano.
了。
I was so happy.
我那
I
个
was
时
so
候可
nervous.
紧张了。
还有什么好的？
I have other good memories. And so in this piece you start looking through at these various objects, and there's a lot of I mean, I honestly feel like the delivery and the timing and frankly the sort of atmospheric effects that are happening, like the lights and the reverb, I feel like are very dreamlike and frankly very moving. The one, however, says, I feel like I'll get lost. Well, I mean, it feels a little bit like part of the reason, part of the design is to get lost. And before I go through this door, which I believe is the correct door to go through to advance, before I go through this door, I have played pieces that are a little bit more about an environment that's trying to tell a story. It's about looking at things, kind of feeling the feelings that are in this space. And I have played games where a player will be in this room and go, oh, there's the door, and just beeline for the door, open it up, move on to the next thing. Beeline to the next door, open it up, move on to the next thing. I think it's very, very clever. The idea that you could get, in a literal sense, lost in this memory as you're trying to work your way through, which on one hand I think is very evocative as is, but then also kind of avoids this pitfall that players are just like, la la la, just like walks right through the next thing. And so as I walk through, I think I go to the 5th room. Where were you? Look after your son. I want to look around more. So, I went through the wrong door. Whoopsie daisies. The speed run, here it comes. But you can see, if any of you read that dialogue, there's starting to be some cracks in the memory. Starting to be some embarrassment. This is the wrong door. This is the correct door. There we go. Is this VR game or not? I'm not sure, Coco Anada. It may have a VR component to it. Oh gosh, which door was it? Was it this one? I am going to go all the way through this thing, no matter what. Where were you? Look after your son. Alright. Are you able to play VR games? Asks Garinju. If there's movement, generally I really struggle. Which is part of the reason why this interactive animation that we were looking at, like Wandala and other ones, I just think are marvelous. Alright. Alright, let's speedrun this. I thought it was the door that I just came through was the correct door. I'm wrong. I really want to get to this end part. So I'm going to go through it one last time and see if I can remember. Yeah, see, Musakai says it's interesting that we're looping around and seeing that the memories maybe weren't as happy as our narrator is making them out to be. So, you know, on one hand, from a like Sean's doing a show and wants to advance to the next thing to showcase what's going on and this kind of thing. I think it's maybe this diagonal door. On one hand, there's the, oh, I'm getting a little, I'm not progressing the show along, but I feel like this is the point of the game. You know what I mean? This is the game. It's supposed to be about this kind of... I thought that was it. I thought that I had done process of elimination. The embarrassment, the shame. This reminds me of Stanley Paradox. An Oberdin, yeah. Yeah, now, as we continue to speedrun, let us recall which ones we have gone through. So we have done this one. We have done, I think we've done these two. Which one have we done? This one? Or excuse me, Stanley's Parable. I want to be able to showcase it, but I don't remember which one is which. We are losing. We are losing. U is going to be the game where we have the most user errors. Garnges says I really like games that hit you right in the feels. Yeah. Look, like, where were you? Look after your son, says Truna. I'm sorry. I'm not looking after my son. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's sort of a funny contrast between me, who is typically a very bubbly, like, cheery person, and the sort of devastation. So this is wrong, right? We did this one. Maybe it's this one? Alright, it appears that there's a wall here, so that's fine. Alright, great. Alright, great. And I did this one. Is it this one? Okay, process of elimination. There's only one more door, right? There's only one more door.
你想试试这个门能去哪儿？
And there's also a comment that I kind of wanted to make about this particular piece,
这个蓝的，
which is that if you are if you play a lot of modern games
他最喜欢吃蛋糕了。
that are super
那个
polished,
时候
a lot of the effort is in trying to button up tiny little things here or there, like this door that you open and you can't go through. Is this the only door we haven't gone through? We've gone through this one. I've gone through all three of these, so it has to be this. It has to be this one, right? It's
还有
this
什么
one.
好的？
Is this it?
死哪儿去了？
What am I doing wrong? The crying baby creeps me out. One last time. One last time.
你打红的，我用
One last
蓝
time. I
的
can't let this go.
还
Yeah.
想看吧？
Do you want to stay here? Cake was his favorite. Yeah, no, I
别
mean,
着急慢点儿吃。
那个时候，你觉得他什么都
Admiral Ruenschel says if you can't do it, imagine a typical user. You know, the funny thing is that was it actually supposed to be this one? It might just be a bug that's preventing me from getting through. I don't think so. I did this one, I did this one, I did that one.
还有什么好的？
Is it that I didn't look at the memories enough? Maybe it's that I was trying to
这是他
advance
第一
through.
次拿奖，你可高兴坏了。
哇，我那个时候可
So
这是他第一次，这是他
I
第一
have
次
some
拿奖，
notes about
你可高兴坏了。
which direction you're supposed to go in, and I think I might just be wrong,
可紧
but
张啊！
that would pain me a bit if I had made you this mistakey.
死哪儿去了？快来哄哄孩子。
So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just I'm going to step out of I'm going to head back to the main menu for a moment. So I'm a little embarrassed that I could not find the correct door. I wrote the wrong door down in my notes. So I think I sort of looped through. And Razorbank says, you might need to trigger some more memories before you can get to the end. That might have actually been what the error that I was doing is. But what winds up happening in this level is you get all the way to the end, and then it loops back through all of these rooms, and you're a much more harsh parent. You are criticizing your kid for leaving a mess. You're telling him to put his toys away and stop playing games and study and focus. And it is very, very powerful. Because if you did what I did, you kind of get stuck in some loops and you're sort of hearing the same sort of things again and again. And it's just really, really moving. What I want to do is I want to actually open up a video of this piece real quick here, so that way you can see it. Because again, let's see if this is the correct one. I think I got it. I think I got the correct one. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, let's open this up. All right, so I'm going to rewind just a little bit. So have you finished the whole story? Yes.
还想看吧？
So it shows some of the looping through there. Oh,
孩子，
he's right there. There it is.
操，怎么过不去？
Why can't I get in? And if you walk through, it starts
这
looping
边
again.
对吗？
This is what I should have done in the first place. But yeah, so there's your kid right there. Hearing the car go and stop. And then it resets. Look,
What?
what the?
别来管我！小兔崽子，你想在这个房间待着，还是
It's so brutal.
不对，
Dude.
不是这个。就下去吧。不对，
No,
wait
go
till-
back. This must have been the door that I did incorrectly.
我是你爹，你的什么东西是我不能知道的？
And I mean, this game really, I think... I mean, it truly got to me when I was watching it, where I was just like, ooh, oh. And, again, I apologize that I've written my notes down correctly. I was going through the wrong door in the wrong room, and as you can see in the video, that's what wound up pulling it through. And so I have a few reactions to this. One is just like the... I tend, again, not to play many story-driven, feeling-driven, sort of atmospheric-style games, but, like, gosh, it just... It really strikes you, because, again, you're the one that's been wandering through, and it sort of starts to get, you know, okay, no, so I'm going to just be reminiscing, and then you just hear a memory of you saying something cruel, and again, it feels like you that did it. Ugh. Oh my god, it's very powerful. And one of the things about that particular project is that in a lot of really polished AAA-style games, so much of the work is, well, we got 80% of the way there in a year, and then the last 20% took 2 years of just polishing and making sure that things don't have glitches or bugs. And there's a really specific one, which is sometimes players will do something that's legal in the game, that's okay in the game, but they're not supposed to do that. And you can wind up with these sort of degeneracies where a player who's supposed to go this way just winds up continuing to circle here, and they keep thinking that there's clues and things to go there. Which, hilariously, is literally what I was doing. I was convinced that I was in the right direction, trying to find these clues and possibilities to move through onto the next one, and I just need to go through this other door and that sort of thing. And if any of you play You and walk through it, there's also gameplay footage in case you are unsure of certain solutions and you want to be able to kind of get past this one so you can experience the rest. But yeah, A+, 10 out of 10. And I especially like the watching 3 times us bring our kid to the hospital. that was one of those ones where it was like, man, all right. Let's make sure everyone's tears are properly primed. Let's head on to the next piece. Let's open this one up. It is a 360 video that we actually have control over. This is from Junji Wang. It says, this work is a missive to the life form we call viruses in the hope that we can coexist. The relationship between humans and viruses is poetically expressed from a different perspective. So what I want to do is I want to copy a video that has the subtitles in it, because I have the subtitles for you for the English, or subtitles in English, and I will just say them alongside this video. The reason I'm doing it this way is that great, good, that's up. Is that this video is a 360 video. I don't know if you've ever seen some of these in YouTube, where you can literally move around, and the animation is on all sides. These are on YouTube. I talked about them being on in various VR platforms and stuff like this, but like when you are in YouTube looking at and experiencing this yourself. I mean, this is so beautiful, it's just breathtaking. And it appears that my subtitles viewing is crashed, but... How are these made? Asked Coco and Nada. Well, for these types of animations, typically you are making it in a 3D rendering program that you would typically use for virtual reality. And the camera controls, instead of being tied to the neck and the head moving around, it's just the hands. It's just this little grabber that's being able to steer the camera around. And it's just this beautiful piece talking about different types of life. And I mean, even though we don't have any subtitles, I mean, it's very, very evocative. Especially when you know that this piece is called Dear Viruses and is about the sort of coexistence of various species, plant and animal alike, with viruses. Solsticism is asking, can we steer to the ambient space? We can look into ambient space, sure. But often there are things happening all around you. And I have never seen anything like this that looks like a watercolor painting that's all around me. I think it's just marvelous. And you know, I am just going to rewind it again. Because, I mean, I just think it's incredible. I mean, I just think this is so beautiful. Yeah, it's whenever I take a breath, they will always be with me. And this line is... Where's our friend? There you are. Hello. It says, they're moving in my body. Or there's something in my body, excuse me. I mean, I just, again, I think that it's absolutely breathtaking. When I'm not moving... Yep, they're always with me. I have my subtitles loaded properly now and timed. Is there a link to this specific YouTube video? Yeah, let me... I'll be able to paste it because I'm literally just watching it on YouTube right now. I'll link it right afterward, Muldrifter. Again, I don't even... I literally don't know how you take this painterly style and bring it in. Rich TTT is asking about the interactive component. With a lot of these... Oh yeah, again, the translation is there's something in my body. Because you are in a 3D space, Rich TTT, you can look at any piece that you want, and there's different things going around in different locations. It says the plants... They all know. So incredible. A+, unbelievable. It says, I can't hear them, is the translation. I can't see them. But they're always with me. A+, A+ out of 10. Graduates with honors. And let me just go ahead and paste this. Oh, it looks like you can go to the GEIDAI website. There we go. So if you go to... If you go to the link that Ghost Stalker is pasting, you can check it out right here. There we go. That's where it is. Check it out right here. Again, you go to the page that Ghosty's linking, click on Games, and scroll down right here. GEIDAI, again, is the Tokyo University of the Arts. This is their end-of-year showcase. We have one final piece... And this is a multiplayer game. And so I'm going to be playing with Ghost Stalker. Ghost Stalker, again, if you would turn off your the program that was messing with this. Turn off the program, hop in, follow the instructions that we went over yesterday to make sure it works. And then I will be joining you shortly. But I want to react a little bit more to this project, which I think is just absolutely incredible. The GEIDAI Games Program really was my first big introduction to the idea of 360-degree view, interactive VR animations. And there's something really powerful about being able to look around that makes you feel like you are there in the space. And, yep, Solsticism, I completely agree. It's this great example of a low-key, beautiful piece of animation. It's really wonderful and really meditative. Our final game that we're going to be looking at today, and I need to make sure I move over here because I have a whole bunch of information that I need to make sure I do correctly. Can I see you now? let's open this one up. Let's turn down the volume. And then let me... Okay, so you can hear it now. I'm going to log in.
Connected.
Connected. All right, you're seeing little drops on my face, and that's completely fine. Let me choose this. Waiting for your partner. It looks like Ghosty put it in. And Ghost Stalker, go ahead and just jump right into it. I don't know if it gave you the chance to put in the information, but let me just explain what this project is. The last project is from Yuto Hayashi, who makes a game called Can I See You Now? And I strongly encourage that you download this game with a buddy. Oopsie daisies. I realized I accidentally left all the games running. Let me close this down. So Yuto Hayashi creates a multiplayer game called Can I See You Now? And describes it as following. An online PC game involving two players who wander around in Google Street View trying to find each other. 2020 forced us to reevaluate the absoluteness of physical distance. How can we meet people now? How can we meet people now? So in the game, I'll explain what I'm doing right now. The way it works is I open it up, and I'll briefly show it on screen. English. Put in the password. Okay. I just want to make sure that I don't inadvertently... There we go. So, in the game, you put in the latitude and longitude of a specific location. Oh, and I hear Ghost Stalker is connected. And it looks like my computer is dropping some frames. But don't worry, I'll just be low frame rate day 9. You put in a latitude and longitude, and you and your partner put in the same latitude and the same longitude. It drops you in an area nearby there in Google Street View, and we try to find each other. So let me go over here. Let me make sure that I get the correct latitude and longitude. Go Stalker, where is this? You may recognize this. I felt so clever for choosing this one. And we're good? Good. Okay. Waiting for your partner. Waiting for your partner. Here we go. Your partner's in the same area. It seems to be 300 meters away. Tell each other what you see so you can meet somewhere around here. Okay. I'm going to be speaking, and Ghost Stalker is going to be typing. And you know what location I picked? San Diego Convention Center, where TwitchCon is typically held. And I might have too many programs and various videos open in various tabs that is causing my computer to choke a little bit, but that's fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, so here is, so I'm going to travel up. Let's go ahead. Where'd all the frames go? They're gone. They're gone. All right, I'm heading... Ghost Stalker, I am heading north, and I am at the intersection that is one block north of the convention center. There's really only... says, oh, Ghost Stalker says, okay, 3 tall things looking north. Okay. Alright, so we're going. And by the way, this is me. I chose this avatar. I'm this schoolgirl. Alright, so I'm going to find you, Ghost Stalker. I'm going to find you. So I can go forward. And by the way, this is something that is hilarious. It's literally injecting Google Street View images. So in some areas, Google Street View has locations like inside of buildings. But it's okay. I just back out and I keep trucking along. Going down. 3 tall buildings. This is 1 steel, 1 small glass, and steel panels, and 1 with large panels. Wait, and you're looking north? Okay, I'm coming to you, Ghost Stalker. I'm running. I'm running. Okay, do you see... Oh, wait, I see some tall buildings. I see some tall buildings. Okay. On the same side of the street, Ghosty, keep giving me messages. I see some tall buildings. Merciless Moop says, this seems low-key like it could be a horror game. This is what creepypastas are made out of. Absolutely, man. I'm hunting for ghosties. See, I see this glass building. I'm wondering if it's this glass building. It says, I'm looking north, and right below one with glass and pillars running down the center of the glass. Wow. Huh. Regis says, went past my hotel I stayed at for TwitchCon. Yeah, no. If we look this way, like down this way, this is where you can find Sliders, which is the... Striders, which is the bar that we always meet, all the day nights wind up meeting at. Did the Gnosis, is it against the rules to just give the address of the intersection? No, I don't think it is. Like right now, Ghosty, I'm on... Where am I? Alright, you know, Ghosty, I don't think I'm anywhere near you. I'm going to start heading south again. The game lets you know if getting closer. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh no. And by the way, oh my god, in the stadium. I'm going to hit the back button. Back. It looks like I accidentally went, this is not a street. Alright. Trapped in a stadium. That was close. Alright, Ghosty, I am heading back to the convention center. And I'm heading westbound.
200 meters.
Wait! Are these the buildings you were talking about? Oh my gosh, Ghost Stalker. Ghost Stalker, are you nearby here? I think I see the buildings. I think I see the tall buildings.
150 meters.
Ghosty, I'm coming for you, baby. Here I come. Alright, we're going in. I know the frame rates are dropping, but I feel like it adds to the style. The game runs buttery smooth on my PC. I think it's just trying to put a whole bunch of images or something. I don't know. My video encoder does not like it. Okay, I'm going to the tall buildings. Ghosty, stop moving and tell me where you are. I think maybe I passed you. I'm huge compared to the rest. Yeah, I know. I drink a lot of milk. Are you down this way? I moved and now have no clue. Wait, where are those three buildings? I think I'm back where you originally were. I see this tall building and I see these round little pillars in there. Oh my gosh! I think we may have done it. Ghosty. Okay. Oh man, not that one. Not that one. Okay, this is not it, huh? Oh. Okay, so were you farther down this way? Was it these buildings? Was it these tall buildings? Oh, maybe it was this. Am I gonna get 100 meters? Oh no, I'm in a parking lot. I'm in a parking lot. Oh, Ghost Stalker, I'm in a parking lot. I'm stuck. Did I get out? Made it. Is this you? Up here? Oh no. Okay, Ghost Stalker, I have a question. There's this really tall brown building. It has all these cylinders on it. One of the big buildings looks like a hexagon. Oh man. Can you head south to this brown building? Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on down southbound. Heading south. Right away. Perfect. Okay. This is it.
100 meters.
Are you getting close? Oh, I'm gonna find Ghost Stalker. This is exactly what it's like when you're texting someone at TwitchCon. You're trying to find them. Again, TwitchCon is it's like right over there. I'm not moving. Not moving.
50 meters.
Wait. Where are you? 50 meters? I'm not moving. I'm not moving at all. I am on the west side of that really big brown building. Oh my gosh, Ghost Stalker. There you are.
Clear.
I found you. You're just a shadow. Yeah, Ghost Stalker. Woo! Oh, fireworks, all right. Just you're floating in at me. That's actually Ghosty. You need to stop floating like that. You need to work on your posture, young man. Stop floating at me. You succeed in meeting your partner. You can spend some more time walking around with your partner if you want. Click the button below to go to ending. All right. Well, let me click. I've actually never hit the quit app button.
Disconnected.
Disconnected? Oh. Oh, that music's coming from the game. Aha. Ah, perfect. The beginning, in the summer 2019, took a journey across the Eurasian continent. I was fascinated by Kotaro Sawaki's Midnight Express, the legendary Japanese travel memoir. Oh no, it looks like some of the things are covering over each other. I could go back and meet them wherever. I've actually met up with old acquaintances again at a pub in London, a countryside train station in western Germany, along the coast in southern Turkey. Of course, always using Google Maps. Albeit good or bad, that is what it's like to meet people while traveling in this day and age. However, no one could have predicted that the situation for the entire world would be totally different 6 months later. We're no longer connected online, meeting in actual places. It's no longer possible. The physical distance between us has separated us absolutely, and with that new reality, I desired with more sincerity than ever before to meet people again. I think this is just a wonderful project. There we go. Can I see you now? Director Yuto Hayashi. A+ out of 10. Now, I have tried this game with several different locations. I tried downtown Las Vegas. I tried the San Diego Convention Center. I tried Amsterdam. I tried my hometown. And it's really kind of delightful to be able to be in your hometown and to have a friend and you're like, okay, you're there, so turn this way and you should see that thing, go towards that thing. And if you want to download it, you can play it by going straight to the GEIDAI website that we are going to wrap up talking about right here on air. Bam. So this is the website for the GEIDAI Games Showcase. We just got the chance to look at 6 student projects from the program. And again, a warm thank you to Takashi Tokita for advising many of the students, currently Square Enix, with years of experience on a variety of games, advising on these projects. And all of the games that we saw today, let me go ahead and all the games we saw today are right here under this Games tab, or if you click this, you can see the student works. We just got done playing Can I See You That Now? And look, there's Ghost Stalker. There's additional games that you can check out, such as those that are made in a collaboration with the Tokyo GEIDAI Graduate School of Film and New Media and my alma mater, the USC Interactive Media and Games Division. You can even get some info from info about the collaboration. That was one of my old professors, Professor Kratke and Professor Brinson. Oh my gosh, it's so cool to see them there. And you can check out all these sorts of things. And if you're interested in just checking out the program itself, you can always go visit their game website to learn a little bit more about their new graduate program. What we're going to do now is we are going to take any and all questions some of you have about getting into game development, the game development process, what it was like for me to attend the USC Games program, any information I can provide about the GEIDAI Games course. But while that's coming in, I just want to recap again that this is the Tokyo University of the Arts. GEIDAI means Arts University. This is the Graduate School of Film and New Media's new games track. Mistaken Apollo says, looking through many of these games, they seem to be Windows primary. Curious as to your thoughts on whether game programs are that currently include courses on cross-platform Linux/Mac compatibility, and if not, should they include those? Mistaken Apollo, many of these works, if, for instance, you click on Small Life, it should have links to Mac, Windows, tablet, PC. A lot of them should have Mac builds that may have been a little bit harder to see initially, but in the modern day and age, an engine like Unity, one of the qualities that Unity has that's really great is that when you want to make a Mac build, you literally say, okay, here's my game. Make the Windows build, you just checkbox. Make the Mac build, and you just checkbox, and there you go. So I think that it's almost a little bit of a non-issue with many of the engines that you would be using in a games university. I think that being able to have support on Mac is just good. But if you're using an Unreal or using a Unity, often it can just be very straightforward to translate your game to those. And to answer your second question, should they include those? It depends a bit on what your goal is. For instance, if I was just making a game on itch.io, I might be interested in just getting 10 of my friends to play it. So there you go, I could just make it on Windows. And if you're trying to get used to the experience of making games, sharing them with people, and then getting them to give you feedback to improve your game, and yada, 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 you don't really need these different platforms. One of the reasons why you really would like to have support on Windows and Mac and other types of things is largely for commercial reasons, like, ooh, if I release this on Windows and Mac, I can sell to Windows users and Mac users. So I think that if you're getting more into some of the technical, more advanced business side, you might be interested in reading about some of that. But, I mean, I gotta be honest, I again, all the engines that I have ever used just have a checkbox where it's like, make a Mac build, and it gets created. Also, to be clear, I largely don't make stuff on phones. And on phones, working in iOS is really nice because there is a lot of there's a lot of limitation over the settings. There's just not that many different formats. If it works on one iOS device, it tends to work on all iOS devices. There's a bit of a tricky pickle when it comes to working in Android because there's so many different dimensions and customizations and stuff like that. And I know that for my friends that are mobile developers, getting things to work on Android devices for all a range of Android devices is pretty tricky. And if you're asking, hey Sean, how should I develop for Android? I would immediately cover my eyes and point to one of my friends. I really, really don't have a lot of knowledge about that. QFWFQ42. So what was it like for you to transition from a math technical education to an arts design program? I experienced this going from math to the digital arts and new media program at UCSC. Oh, hell yeah, UCSC. But everyone's experience of changing disciplines seemed different. Yeah, so I did my undergraduate degree in math, just pure math. And when I applied to graduate schools, half of them were math PhD programs, and then half of them were in interactive media, design, game stuff generally. And I kind of had just always played games and was interested in working in games, and I also had all this math stuff, so I kind of just rolled the dice and just said, okay, first let's see what this is like, and just see what my options are. And I incidentally got into my number one choice program, which was USC. And I think that for me, there were parts, the biggest struggle I had going from Harvey Mudd of math to USC in design was that so much of the coursework in math is, here's 40 problems, solve them. And then you just start working, and it always feels like you can't quite keep up, right? When you're finally done with that last problem, another 40 problems come, and you're trying to learn a new material, and this one was harder than the last one, and you're just trying to keep up. But at USC, at that design program, at many art programs, a lot of the focus is on giving you, the student, an opportunity to find your creative voice. You can imagine if you were a painter, if someone was standing over your shoulder telling you what to paint for 3 years straight, when would you ever develop a style? When would you have an original work, So a lot of the coursework was trying to have enough work for you to learn new skills, but there was this void of, okay, Sean, figure out what you want to do and do it. So that way we can help give advice and support, and the coursework can support that. And I think that was really challenging for me, because there is something really freeing about having a professor say, here's 40 math problems, solve these. Okay, cool. I don't even have to think about what I'm supposed to do over the next week. I solve these 40 problems. But when it's Monday and you go, what do I work on? I actually think that that's one of the hardest problems in the creative space at all, is going, what do I do now? Because technically I have a skill set to do all sorts of stuff. So what should I do? And that was the biggest trickiness. That was the most difficulty of trying to really figure out what it means to have a creative voice, and why I think it's really important to have these sorts of supplementary pieces. So that I would say that was the biggest challenge. Maladroit, as a computer science major, realized that I wanted to participate in development of video games, particularly for RTS. However, I'm not very familiar with a lot of gaming developing. I guess I need to start self-learning. Can you give a little bit of viewpoint on what sort of resource might be out there to learn? Do you think that the skill set to develop games translate nicely between different types of games? Yeah, so there's a sort of two-parter in there. What about the development of a game? So there's sort of two sub-questions in there. One is the making of a game, and the second is the designing of a game. So when I say the making of a game, you might just say, you know what? I want to remake the first 3 levels of the original Mario. How do I do that? There's all sorts of great video tutorials about Unity, how to remake that in Unity. And if you're, a CS major, there's still plenty of stuff to code, to make function, to do. And there's a lot of different components to a game. Like, if you see a character running around in a game, what does it mean for it to have a model and a rig and an animation and textures and various shader effects and various other sorts of particle effects around it? And I think that, frankly, just starting to try to make things by copying is a really great technique. Like, that was a really cool character in Overwatch. Let me try to just make something that looks kind of like that in Unity. And you just try to make that work. This is a super fantastic way to learn. Obviously, if you're copying, don't try to, sell it. Like, if you're learning, it's good to copy. Because there's so many bits and pieces in there. And I learned almost all of my stuff by copying. I learned almost all my stuff by saying, how do I recreate that? And what this does is it removes the decision-making process of what you're making out of your brain. Then there's a second piece of, hey, Sean, if I want to get into design, what do I do? How do I get into making of games? I strongly recommend that you do 2 things. One, start making board games where there's no coding, art, nothing. Just use pieces from this board game, pieces from that game. Scratch out little things on a piece of paper and get used to what it's like to make something really simple with physical pieces and just try to play it. Maybe you play both players and you just kind of see how it feels. And then if you want to elevate this to trying to do something digital, make simple things. Don't make a game, make a mechanic. Don't make a world, make one level that would be in the world. And then fiddle with this again and again and again and again. Many games are 1 minute of fun with 7 hours of variation. I see someone typing about Doom. Doom is a great example. Aiming and shooting and moving around very quickly. And that's about it. And then it's just really tuning that, really ramping it up. Super Meat Boy is just kind of jumping and dodging. That's it. And then it's just really amping up the fun of going through those basic levels. And then a lot of times, if you nail 10% of your game, the next 90% takes a shorter time than that first 10%. So that's what I would recommend. If you're interested in the development side, just start copying things and trying to recreate them in Unity or Unreal. Just pick one of those 2 engines. And the second one is start working on board games. Things like this, things that are physical, that require nothing else. And then if you're trying to do some stuff that's digital, make sure it's really simple. If you go, oh yeah, that seems like a pretty simple game. No, just way more, really pack it down and make it simple. Because what you don't want is to barely achieve your simple design. What you want to do is you want to achieve your design and then polish it and really grow on it. If any of you will recall, about an hour ago we played It's a Wonderful New Day from Muyang Lee. Apologies for the mispronunciation. Where you were a frog licking bees. The core basic mechanics of the game, which is WASD movement and hit E to consume a dude, is not actually that much in terms of the raw coding need. But, oh my gosh, was that polished with sound effects and animations and spruced up and built upon. You want a tiny nugget that is the hard part that you were trying to focus on, and then all sorts of flourish on top. I think that that's one of the biggest impediments to people's progress, is they keep trying to reach for this big thing, and only once this big thing is done is my game started. So I want to make a game that's like EVE Online, where you can move from one planet to another and collect different resources, and already that is 1,000 hours plus of work. But if you just make something really basic, I want to make a character that jumps and dashes, and that feels really good. It's perfect. Yeah, what else? Let's take 7:36. I thought I was going to take 1 hour. The Tokyo University of the Arts allocated 90 minutes for me, and we've gone for 96 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got really excited and I caused you to crash. But I'm going to keep talking for a little bit more because this is fun. Yeah, if you have any questions that I didn't get to, copy paste them. Just repaste them again. Just repaste them again. Repaste them again. This is terrific. This is fantastic. There's a few that I missed through, so let me scroll back up. Scroll back up. Oh, there it is. Yeah, and I see some comments also too about scoping. Yeah, keep your scopes very small. Charles is great. This is what I would say to aspiring game devs is try to game jam like Ludum Dare. It's a great way to smash out a game in a weekend. Yeah, you know what? That'll be a good one to close on because we can tie back to our lovely student projects, all of which get an A+, 100 out of 100 points. Which is, if you are interested in trying to really make some games, don't make your dream project first. Make any project that you can complete and then move on from. Because you learn again and again and again and again and again and again how to keep improving that development process. And a game jam is a great way to do this. If you've never done a game jam, it's basically, hey, on Friday night we get a topic, and we make a game related to that topic, something like 2 is better than 1. You make a game about that topic, and you have 72 hours to finish it and turn it in. This is really nice because you go in with no ideas, and then you suddenly hear this, some ideas come to your mind, you don't have any time to really think, oh, how do I make this perfect? You just move on, and you start making the game. And then, at the end of the game jam, it's done and you're allowed to walk away. It's so great. And you know what? Game jams are also really casual and really low commitment. I was talking about this earlier. 60 to 70% of the game jams that I participated in, I would start on Friday night. I would stay up on Friday night till like 1 in the morning working. I'd get up at 9 feeling enthusiastic, and I'd build. And by 3 p.m. I'd go, yeah, you know what? Now that I've made this thing, I realize the error in my idea, and I don't think that I can really make this fun. So I quit. I'm giving up on this game jam. Or 60, 70% of the time, I was working on it, and midday on Sunday, I went, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to turn this in and participate in, like, you know, a showcase for that. Let me just work on this for a few more days. There's a lot of game jam games that I thought I wanted to work on for 3 days and then just be done with it that I got a little excited about, and I worked on it for another week or 2. There's been some really amazing games that have come out of game jams that were a small version of the big thing. Baba Is You is a great example. The game that we're actually playing on Monday, There Is No Game, that was a game jam game. We also might be visited by my lovely cat. Oh, she would be such a blessing. She gives A+ to everyone's too. So yeah, I think that game jams are a fantastic way to get into things. Fantastic way. And with that, I want to give a warm congratulations to all the students who worked on these projects for, like, ages. It is so hard to create a thesis project. So challenging. And I respect so much the sheer delight I experienced in playing these. And even you, that is not about trying to be delightful, but is about trying to convey a really moving experience, absolutely succeeded in moving me. I mean, I was getting emotional, like, earlier in the week as I was trying to just make sure everything was technically working for the show. I was just like, oh my gosh, this poor father. So, extraordinary congratulations to all the students, and of course to any of you that are aspiring game designers or aspiring students. I encourage all of you to just keep pursuing it, to keep making stuff, and to lean on each other for support, because it's just really hard to make a thing. And when it's made, it can really inspire and bring delight to people. I mean, I still can't stress enough how this entire realm of these 360 VR animations, I learn from these student projects. And with that, I am now going to begin the weekend, where I will do mostly nothing. And I look forward to having you all join me on Monday evening for some mostly walking. Thank you once again to the Tokyo University of the Arts GEIDAI for sponsoring this stream and for reaching out to let us showcase some of these student games. It was a delight. A+, don't forget, students. A+ all around. Much love, and I'll see you next week.